Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Thank you all for being here today. Thank you, Campaign Middle East, for putting this together. Thanks to all the sponsors who are making all these events possible. And thank you for having me here. Just to help me better understand the audience, would you please raise your hand if you come from the marketing or from the brand side of the business? Okay, so now please if you come from the advertising side of the business. Okay, even split. Media side? A lot. Okay, so today I'll be sharing with you Choueiri Group's 2020, top 2020 predictions. So to start, the most easy one, the no-brainer one, would be about digital advertising spend. It has been growing in the past few years, and we believe that in 2020, it will represent 40% of the total advertising spend in the MENA region across all types of media. Looking at that number, this makes you wonder, this cannot happen without some new buy models rising to the top of the ecosystem. And here, that would be our second prediction. We're talking about digital programmatic buys. We believe they will reach 60 or 70% of the total digital ad spend in the coming 2 years. And this will be accompanied on the agency side by a consolidation of the programmatic buy across platforms. This will enable agencies to achieve a much more holistic approach as opposed to a siloed approach when buying. Now, when we look at this, at the programmatic side growing that much, this would not come without impacting privacy issues. We are all aware about the rules and regulations that are being implemented right, left, and center to address these issues. We are all aware of the fact that sooner or later, but probably sooner than later, cookies will be no more. This will be a big hurdle on the way we can monetize our inventories. But our prediction is that all these, let us say, hurdles will, in 2020, make the first-party data of the publishers the most valuable asset they sit on, ever. But we cannot forget about second-party data and third-party data. And to resolve these issues, we need some creative thinking. Blockchain has always been linked directly to cryptocurrency. If you say blockchain, people would likely think cryptocurrency. Actually, blockchain can do much more than that. It can help us solve lots of very complex problems. Our prediction is that in 2020, blockchain will be tested to address these user privacy issues and to resolve them. Moving on, let us look at some market perspectives. Out of home, just like all types of media, has been totally disrupted by digital. We all know how each type of media had to adapt, had to change, had to adjust. And out of home will not be a stranger to this. And we believe that 2020 will be the year where outdoor in the region will start to be digitized. Another big component of markets is the following. Right now, again, we use it all the time, digital disruption, buyers or consumers' way of transacting and buying products has totally changed. E-commerce is in, with new retail players coming into the game, with traditional retail players also coming into the game. E-commerce is booming. It is shaking the ground of retail. It's still at a very low level, but it is shaking the grounds globally, and locally it will follow. We predict that in 2020, the total business generated by e-commerce will reach $22 billion in the MENA region, and it is growing. Finally, market perspective, final one, is looking at the most important and the largest market in the region, Saudi Arabia. Saudi is easing everything. Social interactions are happening. Saudi is implementing the vision of 2030, and we believe that in this context, cinema and entertainment in KSA will have a multi-million-dollar opportunity. Moving on. Again, we say it again and again, disruption of digital. With disruption of digital, a few years back, reach became the main metric to plan for media, to transact media, and to measure media. We believe that this will be again disrupted and challenged. And our prediction is that in 2020, time spent will become the main metric that brands will transact media with. So when we talk reach and time spent, these are all part of measurements. And we all know that the main thing brands suffer from in our region is the lack of a reliable measurement system that responds to their needs. What are their needs? Their needs is to know where their advertising dollars are going, how effective they are, and what kind of return on investment they are generating on the different channels available. This is why we believe that in 2020, market will start turning to alternative media measurement solutions. When we talk media measurement solutions, today as we know it, brands interact with the consumers across a multitude of channels. Long gone are the days where you could place a couple of commercials on 2 televisions, 1 radio, 2 newspapers, an outdoor circuit, and you're done. You've reached really a lot of your consumers. The number of touch points has exploded, and this is why we believe that passive cross-channel measurement will be high in the consideration of the market in 2020. What is passive cross-channel measurement? What we believe would be one solution is the smartphone. With the smartphone, using watermarking and using audio matching at the same time, not the same time, that one or the other one, you can monitor what your user is doing, what they're watching, at what time, for how long, and so on. With that same device, you can resolve the location problems. You can know where your user is being, what's his journey during the day, what locations, how much time he spent at this location or at that location. Also, research says that 80% of digital content is consumed on the smartphone. This would also enable us to better understand what content is being consumed, when, where, at what time. So this would give us a much more holistic view of the user journey, media interactions, and so on. That would be like a much more complete picture than what we have today. Talking now about video and TV. Broadcasters need to reach their users again across different platforms and many more platforms than traditionally. This is why we see that AVOD and SVOD, advertising video on demand and subscription video on demand, will be converging. And the new hybrid models will emerge. These hybrid models will give the user much more choices and will adapt, or the offering will be much more adapted to the user's budgets, likes, dislikes, media viewing habits, and so on. if you talk about TV, attribution models are proving that television is effective across different platforms. And it is proving the uplift that television is bringing to the digital performance game itself. This is why we believe that in 2020, television will become a major player in the performance game. Moving on from this one, the next prediction is quite predictable. Television buys would become increasingly data-driven. But there will be a focus on linear targeting initiatives. You know that measurement of television is still very limited, but what we're saying is that there will be some types of targeting that look like what we do on digital, but of course, with the limitations that we have with the measurement of TV. Another prediction I can do now, it is that the next slide I predicted to be the last one. So, spends are coming back to TV, in our opinion. They're coming from two main streams. The first stream would be what we call the TV nevers. They've never been on television. And these would mainly be e-commerce players, travel aggregators, and search engines. The second part would come from the brands themselves, brands that have stopped or reduced their TV spend. They will be coming back for two reasons. First reason would be for branding purposes. We've been hearing, like the Adidas example earlier, but this is a fact that is being proven everywhere, that there is a play for TV in the branding exercise. And the second one would be for performance purposes. I talked about this earlier. I'm done. Thank you very much.